Hey everyone, Andrew Esquire here. Tonight we're going to talk about some nuisance streamers and some folks being really annoying in Thailand and Vietnam. And, you know, we've talked a lot about Johnny Somali in Korea, Vitali over there in the Philippines, and we've talked about a lot of streamers that are problematic in Japan, but these are not the only countries that are affected by this. This is in fact a global problem and a phenomena that's in a lot of places. And when I saw incidences in Thailand, of course, the country of my main residence, in Vietnam, a country which I love and which I have visited and I think is a great country. I know many expat friends there. I thought I got to cover that tonight on the show in this kind of new news segment. Of course, this is a legal mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. Smash that like button if you enjoy my coverage of the nuisance streamer topic. So the first one I'm going to bring to you was forwarded to me by a fan, and this one was an incident in Vietnam. This one is a situation where there were some folks that were getting into it with the street vendors in Hanoi, and you can see some behavior here. And once again, it's very unfortunate because this sort of abusive behavior, particularly by people that are probably American, Canadian, it seems based on their accents and their appearance, it sets the wrong image of Americans, Canadians, Westerners abroad, particularly here in Asia, this being in Vietnam. So you can see here, and I'll pop myself in the corner. You can see here, this guy, of course, this is the Westerner, American, Canadian guy in the white shirt with the fake Gucci shorts, kind of squared up against the vendor. And we'll let this play out. One.
Look at you. Look at you.
Pointing, laughing, making like he sounds like some form of monkey when he's doing the laugh there. It's just incredibly immature. I'll let this finish. And apparently he ended up taking that shoe and like throwing it somewhere. So once again, an annoying incident over there in Vietnam, and something once again it shows this is not limited to something that only happens in Korea or Japan, because those countries are perceived as quote unquote weak. This sort of behavior, the annoying behavior and the behavior that really is unacceptable, can happen in any country, including the countries here in Southeast Asia. Now, the next phenomena I wanted to bring up that's kind of been going around, and this did start. Most of the streamers that I saw doing this were really operating in Northeast Asia, but I've seen a kind of phenomenon of the dancing on a train with a speaker. And apparently this is a nuisance streamer strategy that is percolating, it's getting around, and people are copycatting this. So this, I think, is one of these trends that you're going to see a lot of people doing because they're getting away with it. They're kind of getting away scot-free. None of them are being punished or fined or kicked out of the country, deported, whatever. So I think this is something that is gonna continue. Now, I covered this with this guy here. Once again, with these videos, I won't play them because they are potentially violating copyright, because the songs they play are copyrighted songs. But that said, this guy over here was in a Japanese train, and he ended up causing quite an issue in Japan. People were kind of mad about that. And these folks tend to operate on TikTok because of more permissive music rules, I guess, there. And they're racking up quite a number of views by taking these JBL speakers, these wireless speakers, which are kind of just a larger version of what Johnny Somali uses and many of the other nuisance streamers use, taking them in the middle of public transportation and blasting music. Now, as you can see, not everybody's happy about that. Pretty much everybody is looking at this guy like, what the hell are you doing? Clearly, when these people do it, they're not asking for permission. They're just going and doing it. And they're causing issues all across Asia. And this came to Southeast Asia recently, and this is an article by the Bangkok Post, with a Iranian, Persian influencer, you could call him that, nuisance streamer, who ended up blasting music on the Bangkok MRT. So this is the subway. So he essentially dragged a speaker through the Bangkok subway, blasting music, and he was confronted by locals who were like, yo, what the hell are you doing? Stop that. Don't do that here. That's inappropriate, which, I think is laudable. Now, according to this, there was a little bit of debate about this, with some people saying that this was not such a big deal, and that locals were being overdramatic here in Bangkok, but actually, others, and I think looking at the traffic on this and looking at the coverage of this, the majority of people view this as disrespectful and inappropriate. And the majority of people supported those that spoke up and confronted this guy when he was dragging, once again, you see the same JBL speaker, the same thing, right? Copycatting, because they're seeing everybody getting views for this. So this is the next big thing. This is the next trend to watch out for. And, if you're in Southeast Asia or Northeast Asia, or really anywhere in the world, and you see people doing this, know that this is the nuisance streamer thing now, is to bring these speakers in public and drag them through. And I've had a pretty consistent take on this. I already commented on the individual in Japan, but my take on this is this: if you want to do that in a public park, that's fine. That's probably the appropriate place for a speaker. If you want to bring a speaker to Central Park or to Yoyogi Park in Japan, and you want to play music in what is a public space that is acceptable in, that's fine. And you can do that there. The problem is that would not get the views for them. They know that the views and the clout and the clicks don't come from doing things that you could do. They come from doing things that you should not do and that are impermissible, in many places criminal, right? You're disrupting public transit, right? You're disrupting a lot of people. And while there may be some people on that train that don't care or might even enjoy the music, maybe they like the same music as you. I think this guy was blasting, BTS or something else like that. Maybe there's some BTS fans that don't care. The problem is the majority of people do care. The majority of people do not want that. The majority of people are not okay with that. And it is not culturally okay or appropriate at all to do this, particularly in Southeast Asia, Northeast Asia. It is not appropriate to be blasting anything, whether it's your ringtone or having a loud phone call or blasting a speaker. It's not appropriate on the train. It's not appropriate on public transit. It's not the place to do it. And the only reason why these people are getting views is because of that. So my view on this guy is, hey, he should have just been deported and maybe have a travel ban from the country for a period of time, so there's some sort of consequence. Do I think they should be thrown in jail for 30 years? No. People often over dramatize my position as if there's a minor offense, throw them in jail forever, life in prison, death penalty. No. But I do think these people need to have a consequence, and that consequence should be being removed from the country, being deported, perhaps having a ban for a year or two, or maybe even longer if you want, from coming back to the same country, so they feel a consequence for their action and they aren't just rewarded with TikTok views, clicks, and internet clout for whatever that's worth. Because to the extent that we continue to reward these folks with not punishing them, with no consequences, they will do it more and more and more. They're not going to stop just because one or two people are annoyed. They need to have some sort of legal consequence that will stop that action. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's not a big deal? Do you think it's an overreaction regarding playing music on a train? What do you guys think? I'm interested to hear it in the comments below, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.
Are you guys enjoying the stream today?